makes more cars than trucks. What the fuck is wrong with my area? I guess that's just a one good indicator of like where the fuck I live.
How much is 400 linden in US dollars, though?
400 linden in US dollars.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am actually right there on the page anyways, so
Like
400
$5,
linden.
$4. I don't know.
It's no 400 linden is $1.60.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
But Sims are actually, if you buy them from SL where they make the Sim for you, they make they personalize it, they give you your Sim a name, you get to create your own Sim name and stuff. So that
Yeah.
costs about $200. And then on top of it, they also do maintenance for you and stuff like that. So it's not like they just throw it out there and it's just yours to do everything with. I mean, you're still going to have your rolling
this is your best choice, huh, Nikki?
rolling restarts for your Sims and stuff like that. It's just because they have to keep up
I
maintenance
don't
on it.
know. I think I will almost log off.
Yeah.
Definitely boring.
Um.
So you're talking in linden, though, right? So all up, how much is it a month? In US
Well, if you
dollars.
want,
It seems
if you
to be
want like a
yours as well.
cacho, just call me on Skype,
It
okay?
a month. It can be between 2 to a month. Usually, I think it sets around 300 though.
Right. Right. So my rent is about $4 a month. Yeah, $4 US dollars.
Nice. Yeah. I actually used to own a half sim that was like $40 a week. So I prefer just having half sims because I'm not going to sit there and pay 400 bucks a month for a full sim. I think it's a little ridiculous with that.
It
Oh,
is. It's absurd.
that's a bit much, yeah.
It really is. Yeah. That's like paying another half a rent.
Hmm. That's all right if you're making income from it, though. So if you're doing something where you're
Oh
making
yeah.
income,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're doing something that's making income, I suppose so, but there's very few people who are actually very successful here on SL. There's some people that, pay their mortgage, their real life house mortgage because they make
yeah,
so much on SL.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, with me, I have my own store and everything, and I have a friend who has a store, and they're both decent. They're not hugely popular, but they make a decent amount of money, but it's definitely not enough to cover land for SL.
right.
But I assume there are a select few that can definitely like buy a sim and just pay the SL people what they make from their earnings.
Yeah, I think there's a guy that comes here, Lightboy, and he says he makes good money. He didn't say how much,
Nice.
but he said he makes good money. I don't know what he does, mind you. I think
Right.
he makes things.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and I guess that's the nice thing about SL is it goes as far as you can imagine. You can build things which will make you money doing stores. I mean, there's even cam girls, I think, and I think I saw them make like 20,000 um linden like a date, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I see your escorts, you mean? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
escorts, yeah.
Right, yeah, yeah.
What the hell would you need a house for in Second Life anyway?
To sleep there. Have friends over. Barbecue. They just gave us extra prims for free. Hey Lars, how you doing?
burned my leg on my power supply during my sleep and have a second-degree burn on my leg.
Oh God. Did it blister?
Yes, monstrously.
Prox
It's even
Peroxide, girl.
re-blistering. It's re-blistering. It's so bad.
Why is that thing so
Oh,
hot? It shouldn't
I
be that hot.
I didn't know it got that hot, but I think I just probably slept on it for so long that it just slowly cooked my leg. Isn't that fucking crazy?
I definitely know what you're going through right now, girl. Well, I did. I went to Mexico. I don't know if I told you, but I went to Mexico in May, and I got off the cruise ship and I stayed in the water for like an hour. I ended up with second-degree burns all over my shoulders and my forehead. And the
Oh
onboard
wow.
doctor, yeah, I actually took pictures of it healing because it looked so bad. It literally looked like someone took my skin on my shoulders and peeled off the first layer, and only
Yeah,
muscle was exposed. Yeah.
that happened to me when I went to the beach after I'd been living there for a long time. And I went back like and just thought, instead of getting used to the sun slowly, I could just, lay out like I used to. And I laid out all day in baby oil like a dumbass.
Oh, God.
And that's when they had those open freezers at the grocery stores. Remember how you could like lean over them and they were like wells of stuff, but they were frozen? They
Mhm.
weren't necessarily closed doors. They weren't very efficient. But anyway, they used to have these things. Well, that night we were in the store with the people that I laid out with, and we were getting dinner, and I literally leaned over to get something out, and I passed
Mhm.
out from the cold air
No.
hitting my body, and I was like doubled over in the cooler in the
Oh
grocery
no.
store, hanging in there like I was frozen food. They came up to me like, "Oh my God, are you all right?" But yeah, I got like it looked like I was in a car crash, like a car burn or something, like a major house fire or something. Like
Damn.
I was there like several weeks and ended up having to come back. But people were like, "Were you in a car accident?" I'm like, "I got this from the sun. Be
Right.
warned."
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just stayed inside for my thing. I had to wear, those long skirts that you can turn into like a dress. You can just put it over your dress and yeah, wear it as a
yeah,
dress. I had to wear that for 2 weeks because I couldn't have anything touching my skin. It hurt too bad.
yeah. I had to wear sleeveless stuff too, which made it worse because then you were in the sun if you actually went
Right.
outside.
And then when you went in the sun, just the heat from it fucking made it hurt even worse. So I just stayed inside.
Yeah, I had this like little like tank shirt that I wore every day that was that like looped it tied around the neck. So it was
Right.
kind of like a halter tank thing. And I was able to wear that without being in pain because I didn't like my neck didn't burn because of my hair. I had bob haircut and like the right around my
Hmm.
neck wasn't burnt.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I mean, even I put on 100 SPF spray stuff, and it's still just I think it's just because I'm so German. It just didn't work. I'm so pale.
Well, I went oddly enough, I went to Acapulco like having this experience in my past. I did this when I was like
Mm.
15. And then
Oh,
I
okay.
was really young. That's when it happened. And so that was like,
Damn.
like over 30 years ago. Long time. That's probably why you don't know about the open freezers. But anyway, I went to Acapulco like 7 years later, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this right. I'm going to adjust myself to the sun, and I went to a tanning bed, and like acclimated myself, got a little base tan. And did you know that I could not tan while I was in Acapulco from the weird base tan that I got in the tanning beds? Like it actually kept me from getting a tan.
I did
And
not
I
know
was
that.
trying so hard to get a tan. Like, it was important when I was a kid. You know, it was like the late '80s, early '90s. Those things were still important. Anyway, yeah, and I couldn't tan. I couldn't burn. I couldn't tan. I couldn't do anything. I was pissed.
Damn. Oh, I would have been too. I mean, I don't know. I've never really wanted to get tan. I mean, it's not that I haven't tried. Like, I'll put SPF on and like lay out in the sun, but it just never does anything for me.
Yeah, well, most people don't tan anymore. Like, it's rare that people tan. Like, you have to live at
Right.
the beach really to consider it important anymore. And you ripped the shit out of this pee pad, you little bitch. Swear to God. What a mess. Don't you bite me! Don't you bite me! Ugh. She definitely used it enough, though.
Wait, did this turn religious? Oh, my ears.
Hey now. Hey now.
Motherfucker.
Hey now. Man, this pee pad holder has saved my life.
No.
Oh no, 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 no. We don't want to hear the didgeridoo. No, no.
Could you be any crazier? Could you just be a little crazier?
You scared the crap out of me, Misha.
Oh wow.
Hey,
I thought
Juju.
that was Misha talking. Who's talking?
It's JC and Misha.
Oh, okay. Okay. You
Yeah.
guys sound really
Yeah.
similar.
Oh, do we?
That's weird.
Yeah,
I know,
now that I've
right?
heard Misha talk, like, you don't sound anything alike. But that's who I thought I was talking to. There you go. Some fresh water. Let me clean up this pee pad nonsense that you got everywhere. I guess I should wash my hands since I just touched urine.
Yeah, probably be the best idea. Well, if you listened, I'm sure you would understand what we were talking about. Ow, motherfucker. Misha, I'm on chapter 8 of my book.
Oh nice.
Yes.
It.
Huh?
What book is it?
It's the novel I've been working on, writing.
Oh, that's cool. They're gonna publish it when it's done.
Oh, hell no. No, no, no.
Uh-oh.
Well, remember I was telling you that I used to write fan fiction. I wrote 3 200-page novels of fan fiction. I'm working on my 4th now.
Oh nice.
Yeah. I have one person who reads it so far. She has me email her each chapter that I finished, so
That keeps it exciting when you have a reader. I had a reader when I was writing
right.
a novel too, and like, he wasn't like an expert writer or anything, but he
Right.
gave me really good feedback. Like, he really did.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's what I like about it because well, when I send her the email of the chapter, she actually shares I
All
gotta
right,
turn you
you're
down.
muted.
Yeah,
Later.
I gotta
Have a
turn you
nice second life.
down.
Have a good
Because
one. Nice seeing ya.
what happens is when I email it to her, she actually shares it with her friends as well, and they give her feedback, and then she gives the feedback to me and stuff. So I have a small reader base, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, in the writer's room that I used to hang out in AOL, when they found
Mm,
out that this guy was my reader, not necessarily
mm,
an editor, but my reader, they like
right,
made fun of this. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, at least we get to talk about my work. I don't get to talk about my work with you guys. And I'm in here talking to
exactly,
you every day, and none of you respect me because I've never published anything, and you guys have. And I'm like,
right,
he's just somebody who also is trying to get in the door, and you know, we've made a bond. You know, we're friends.
right. Oh
And
hell
they
yeah,
totally
it's
stopped after that because then they felt like total assholes.
yeah. I think it's definitely nice. I mean,
Hey,
for me,
Fox, you are
writing
you even old
has
enough to be on this game?
Me?
writing really.
I'm
Did
sorry.
you
Go
drink
ahead.
a lot of coffee as a child?
I don't know who that was. Hold on. um. But anyways, I feel like the point of reading really doesn't have to do with a big fan base. It really just has to do with if the writing helps you, if the writing is your own creativity, then it really shouldn't matter if you have a quote unquote reading base or anything like that. I mean, as
Yeah,
long
it
as you
depends
do it
on what
for
your goal
your
is with the writing. Like if your
right,
goal is to make money, it totally changes everything. But if your
right. Oh
goal
yeah,
is to create and like enjoy it, enjoy the process, and regardless of what happens in the end, be satisfied with that, yeah,
exactly.
that's exactly what you need. And that's exactly what I
Yep.
had. And with if it hadn't been for that guy, I would have clung to that novel for years. And he told me that I evolved so much as a writer that until I hit chapter 14, I didn't get my stride. And I was like, damn. He's like, you should start the book right there. That's where you should start the book. And I'm like,
Right back.
you're kidding me. He's like, yeah, like in chapter 14 is where you start the book. And I said, oddly enough, that's where the fiction starts. Because the other stuff
Right.
like actually really did happen, and I was kind of like evolving around real life events and like turning it into a book. But when I
Right.
started like changing it and turning it into something creative, he saw that. He could tell that I was creating instead of just, you know, taking these little snippets from my life. He could tell that I was actually creating something. And it was
Oh yeah.
weird that I somehow like had ability to write fiction and never realized it, because to me the whole thing was almost nonfiction, you know what I mean, even though it was a fiction
Right.
book.
Oh yeah. And you know, it's a thing that
Yeah,
I
I
have
start to
great
find a lot of it
admiration
stranger than fiction.
admiration for fiction and nonfiction. Each of them have their own talents of what worlds they can create, whether basing it off of true stories or making up their own worlds.
And I think what it really was is that when in that chapter I incorporated some more dynamic characters
Hmm.
and created like this whole subset culture of like of basic jocularity that would really resonate with a man. And I think that since he was a man, obviously, I think
Right.
he enjoyed that the most. Where the rest was about relationships, and I don't think he had had a lot of relationships, and it was basically a love story. So you know, I think you know that could have been a part of it too. You know, there were more male
Right.
characters for him to be interested in.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, with me, I write fiction. I actually write fan fiction more specifically. So I never plan on publishing my stuff. I just like to write. I mean, because I only write off of I only write one kind of fan fiction. It's always been the same thing since I was in high school. It's just an enjoyable world that someone decided to create, and then to be able to feed off of that and turn it into your own world makes it that much better.
Can I ask what it is? Because I know a lot of people who write fan fiction.
It's actually Harry Potter.
Oh, cool. That would be
Yes,
really hard to write. That would be so hard to write.
I think the
Because there's
only
so many
reason
nuances. Words are strange, and yeah, that would be
right.
really right.
I think the only thing that really makes it
Create
hard to
words?
write is I'm sorry?
Do you create words, like new made
Uh
up words and stuff?
I do on some things, but mostly I try and stick to the original things that they have. That's what I was saying is that the only thing I find hard about it is you have to be able to capture all the spells, all the different characters, everything in your mind to be able to write it accurately, to be able to put yourself into a different world. Is we
Okay,
have to
so
remember all these things.
your writing is basically alternate character driven and not so
Pretty
much
much, yeah.
alternate reality. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It all has to do with Hogwarts, and the only thing that's different is rather than the main character being Harry Potter, which obviously it has always been, I put my own character in there. I pretty much throw her into the world, whether she knows about it or she doesn't know about it or anything like that. I just kind of throw her into the world and let it go from there.
You know, there might be some interest in that in a marketable standpoint of that. Or
Oh, I bet.
have you ever considered like taking one of the other characters and writing it from their perspective and
Are
changing
you
the ending?
are you talking
Like
about like one of
like
the
an existing character,
yeah, okay.
like a spin-off.
Honestly,
That's
I
how Ann
haven't
Crispin got her start. She wrote a Han Solo spin-off about like how Han Solo, like a prequel, came to
mhm.
be into this world. Like to me personally, remember Harry Potter's arch nemesis through the whole thing. Like I didn't really read the
Yeah,
books, but I
Voldemort,
saw one
yeah.
of the movies, and I'm just more of a Tolkien fan. But anyway, like how he became such an evil fucktard, like his prequel,
Oh,
be
actually,
really interesting.
there actually is something about that already. There is a fan fiction made movie that the people who let Harry Potter go, who made Harry Potter, they actually gave rights to this person to make a Harry Potter fan made film that might be able to hit theaters. And it's
Oh
actually about the
wow.
same thing. It's
Okay,
about
so
how Voldemort
I
came to be.
wow.
Yeah, I just found out about that like 3 weeks ago,
What's
and I
up,
got
big
really
pimp?
excited.
No
What's up?
way.
What up?
Yeah,
What are you getting?
I'll have to find the
What's
link.
up,
Hold on
big
one
pimp?
second.
What up? What's up?
Strangest thing to me is that there was actually a group of people, sitting in Skype together, and they all said, "Let's make a bunch of accounts called Fart Toot, and that'll really show everybody on Second Life. We'll be the laughing stock of everywhere."
Yeah, it's called Voldemort Origins of the Air. Copy. Here, I'll send you the link. It's actually pretty interesting. They actually even made a trailer for it, and I saw the trailer, and I actually thought it was pretty decent for being a fan-made kind of thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I, I'm happy about it. Anything Harry Potter really is my kind of thing. I have a daughter. I actually named one of my daughters after my only daughter after one of the Harry Potter characters.
That's
Oh wow.
pathetic.
So, yeah, her
That's
name's
not
Lily after
pathetic.
Lily
She
Potter.
will totally love that name the rest of her life. Those
Hell
were the most
yeah.
popular freaking books. Do you know that the author of the Harry Potter books is like the fourth most highest paid entertainer in the world behind Beyonce, P Diddy, and like one other person, Drake, I think.
I think I heard something about that. Yeah, but nice thing about Rolling is she actually donates a lot of her money to organizations to help people out. So I thought that was the most best thing that someone can do
Oh,
with her
Just
she
kind
in
of
case you're
donates
situation.
trying to
almost all of it.
communicate, I muted
She
you
donates
the other
almost
day.
all of it. Yeah,
Right,
as soon as she became wealthy, she donated
right.
like almost. I think I think she kept 5% for herself
Yep.
because she
Hmm.
made so much ridiculous amount of money. And did you hear about the book that she wrote that under a pen name just to see how it would do without the
No,
Harry Potter? Yeah,
I
she
didn't
wrote
hear about
another
that.
book, and I think she
Nice.
used a man's name,
Very cool.
and it didn't
Well,
do very well. And it was, but as soon as everybody found out it was her, everybody went out and bought it. You know, it,
right. Well, it's the thing that,
it's
I don't think she ever expected to actually make money off of it because the only reason she actually came up with the book was because she was writing to be able to read to her children at night. So she was pretty much writing these books in her mind after she would tell her children these stories, and then she would go back after their sleep and actually start typing up the books. I don't think she
well,
really ever Oh, go
she
ahead.
started writing them when she was pregnant, actually, and maybe
Interesting.
for the second time. I don't know. I
Good
thought she
day,
only had
dummy.
one kid, but
Right.
she like I heard this really heartwarming story about her. They would not even give her a credit card when she was pregnant
Right. Yep.
for kids. I thought it was her first and only kid. Maybe she has two. I don't know. Anyway, so they wouldn't give her a credit card, and she was so poor. She was like on assistance. She was on public assistance
Right.
and wrote her first book. And as soon as she published that book and it took off, she said, I got so many credit card offers, it made me nauseous, and I no longer needed them.
Right.
And I was like, this is so sad. It's like awesome and sad at the same time because I've been there. I've totally been there.
And by the way, J.K. Rowling actually has 3 children.
Wow.
Yeah. I had to look it up because I thought she had 2, but it's apparently she has 3.
I think she was a single mom when she started writing them, though. I'm
Right.
not sure about that.
It's a possibility, yeah.
I wanted to see the movie Spy Games, and it was
Hmm.
the first night it had been released. And I think it was the second or third Harry Potter movie was on at the same time. And I kept telling my friend, we've got to get there early or it's going to sell out. And she's like, it's just Spy Games. Nobody's going to want to see that. We fucking get there 10 minutes before the film, and it's fucking sold out. And I had to watch a Harry Potter film. And it's the last movie I ever got to see with her.
Wow.
And so I'm kind of bitter about the whole thing, and I was pissed the whole time. So no, I really don't remember much about it, other than it was very creative, and I just was not in the mood. I was not in the mood at all. So I made a point never to read the books out of bitterness. I said fuck that shit. Fuck that. But a lot of my friends read them like as adults, even like before I started going into the author's lounge. They were reading those books, so they couldn't get enough of them.
Heck yeah. I honestly I read the books about 5 times each when I was younger, just because I actually found out when I actually started watching the movies when they first came out, because I wasn't the only person in my family that loved Harry Potter. My dad also did too. So we went and saw the movie when it first came out and everything, and it turned out that the actors that were playing the children were the exact same age as me, so it made it a lot easier follow along with the books as they got older, because as they got older, I pretty much grew up with the actors, watching them
Oh,
do their scenes.
that's pretty special.
I think it is too. I mean, especially when it has such an impact the way it does with people who do enjoy the fantasy worlds that people create. It just makes it a lot, sorry, it just makes it a lot easier to um just have something in common with them.
Yeah, and naming your child after one of the characters, like, that's a main part of your identity, like those books. And
Right.
like the relationship with your father, in addition to that, like you can't bust on her for that. That's just lame.
No. All right. I do have to go to the gym here in a little bit, so y'all take care. Have a good day.
Okay.
Bye.
Take care.
I looked up Anne Crispin's prequel the other day, and they did actually publish the book, but I don't think Disney plans on making the movie. But that was the last thing she wrote, was the Jack Sparrow prequel. She put a lot of research into that book. She actually went sailing on like ships, like mock ships that were made in the vein of that era, and learned how to run, work the ships, and it's fucking crazy. I'm not saying it's the same era, it's the same writer. She wrote a Han Solo spinoff. Did you follow our conversation at all about, how what would be a great spinoff for Harry Potter? And I said, the Voldemort character, like a prequel for him would be really good. And then she said, "Oh, by the way, I just found out 3 weeks ago that a fan did write one." Blah 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 blah. Well, I'm now tangenting into Anne Crispin, who got her start from writing a Han Solo prequel, and just recently died, and wrote a prequel also for Jack Sparrow. She wrote like 22 books. She's really famous in the science fiction world, and helped a lot of new writers.
No, fuck out of here.
But you should talk to JC Butterfly about it. I mean, don't talk to me about it. I'm not writing that shit. Fuck a bunch of Harry Potter. I hate that shit. No, I wrote short stories. I wrote erotic short stories. 6 pages, single spaced, every one of them. And it was like pulling teeth. I hated it. Totally hated it. Almost got one published. And I didn't write it from the first person perspective. The one that I wrote for myself to submit, because I couldn't personalize my sexuality, which is why I interviewed people and wrote it for other people. So when I submitted my erotica, they were upset that it wasn't written in first person, and they said if I changed 2 things, they'd publish it. And I'm like,
This
no, I'm
erotica
not
sounds
changing it.
terrifying.
I said, no, I'm not changing it. And it never got published. It paid $500 too. It would have totally paid $500 and would have taken me literally about 20 minutes to fix. And I refused. I just staunchly refused to rewrite it. There was a cat in it, and the part about the cat wasn't sexual, but it was about hygiene, about touching your private parts after touching cats. And I thought it needed to be in there because it was about, touching the cat and then going to the bathroom, even though the bathroom was like a totally different thing going on than the sex part. But like the cat was important. People needed to know that she washed her hands after she touched the cat. And they were like, the cat needs to go. But I was like, but the cat's the symbol of her loneliness. She's lonely. She's got a cat. She's totally lonely. The woman's lonely. She's has a long distance boyfriend. She's got a cat. And some of the funny things that the funny parts involved the cat. There were some 2 funny parts, and it involved the cat. And I'm like, I'm not taking the cat out. I'm not. I'm not
Wow,
doing
you
that.
put cats in your book? What a surprise. We didn't even expect that. Huh.
It was a white long-haired one. It was a cat I would never own. Even though our first cat when I was a little kid was a white long-haired one. Named Fluffy. How original. We even had a tomcat named Tom. That sucker lived to be 18 years old. He was ancient. Ended up getting hit by a car at 18.
Good afternoon, Tiger.
Afternoon.
How's your day so far?
It's alright.
Good.
See you later, Marlboro. Let me know if you hear something.
I'm quite excited for summer.
I'd be interested how a movie like The Goonies would hold up to a kid nowadays. I don't know if they'd appreciate it the same way I did.
There's no cell phones in it. They wouldn't understand it.
Yeah,
It
probably.
involves real play. It involves going outside. I don't think they can handle it. The Goonies was the shit, man.
I never got into Pokemon. I did like Dragon Ball Z a whole bunch though, and I stand by it. Yeah, those are good songs. Smash Brothers a lot, so we would always hear the Saffron City theme song over and over and over.
I never heard of Muse as a band until I moved to California. And when I moved to California, I heard it on the radio, and I'm like, oh my god, who is this? This band is awesome. Never heard them before. And I had basically been in a Wasteland for a while, and I knew like one Muse song before then, and like kind of perused it in YouTube just didn't find any interest. But like somehow like over the change I went through over the past 3 years, I liked every song then. I like all of their songs now. I'm like that with a lot of bands. It's like when I like one song, and then like when it's popular, I'm not into the albums. But then like they come out with a couple other albums, and the new album is so great, but I check out the new earlier stuff, and then all of a sudden I like that older stuff I didn't like at first.
Have you ever listened to Brutal Attack or Skullhead?
It's like I got a delayed reaction. I think it's the PTSD, to be honest.
Hey Willie, how you doing?
I'm fine, man. I'm just, fighting the globalists.
Splinter, I've had PTSD since 1990.
Right, as you do.
Oh yeah, everyone's got PTSD these days.
Can you
I broke
believe
my
the
face.
Holocaust is so
It's
true,
pretty catastrophic
but
to break
it's
your
illegal
face.
to question it?
Well, I mean, not just you, but like, there's all kinds of people who are like, I have PTSD. I need pills, man.
I don't take
the
pills for it. I just
take
deal
the pills
with like
for the PTSD.
psychological fallout, the crying, you know.
There
The
was
delayed
a
reactions, the emotional
hey,
delayed reactions.
Manny.
It's like I'll be
earlier
like
there
in a situation that's totally
Manny,
horrible.
earlier there was a
I'll be like nothing happened, and
psychoanalysis
then
thing
like
here.
2
And they
weeks
were
later,
saying that,
it just happened, and it's finally hitting me. It's like this weird delayed
Manny,
reaction. All of a sudden, I'm freaking out on everybody, and nobody knows why.
Manny,
And it's like, well, 2 weeks ago, don't you remember?
hello?
This is PTSD.
I hear you,
It's
Right,
fucking
okay, yeah.
horrible.
There was
Nobody
a
knows what's going on,
psychoanalysis
you
thing
know?
here earlier, and they were saying that like they had some sort of amazing brain cure for PTSD, and they even backed it up with, but by saying like, well, these are the certain
I already
regions
have
of the
pills.
brain.
Pills aren't going to solve the problem.
I was trying to tell them that I don't think it's not as cut and dry. So anyway, in the future,
I mean, someone tried to murder me.
What you're going to be
I
looking
don't
out for
think
is,
you realize
if
like
you
how fucking
experience
fucked up that
fear
is.
or emotions or things like that, they're going to tell you that that's
And
actually
it keeps
it's
happening.
basically grounds for lobotomizing people, right? You're going to end up lobotomizing people simply because they have feelings and emotions. PTSD is real.
Right, Willie, yeah.
Anyway, what were you saying? Oh, don't be a fanny about it. Hello? Were you saying don't be a fanny about it? No, I get you. No, I'm with you on that.
You didn't hear the whole thing, Splinter, unless you got it from LaFupa. LaFupa got the whole thing if he was recording.
What happened?
I'm not telling that story again.
Sorry.
No.
Alright.
Totally not telling that story again.
I thought you and I were pals, dude. Guys, is there
I
a
haven't
Jewish
really had a
conspiracy
positive
designed
relationship
to
since
destroy,
1998 either.
Do we or don't we?
It's a long time.
Okay, well, you're clearly schizophrenic.
Who are you talking to? I must have him blocked.
Hello, dude. You're autistic, obviously. Why are you talking funny like that? Hey, also,
He's talking to one of the fart toots.
that is no, but that is literally how you die. Like they go, oh well, he's on the spectrum. You either talk normally or you're
Yes,
fucking
Leonard, if you want the
autistic and you've got an
entire
autistic voice. No, do you want to know how I know that
constipation
you have
story,
autism? You talk
ask
funny.
Lafupa if he was recording, because I just gave you the cliff notes. That was a long story. It's a really long story.
Guys, if you hear in the next 5 years people talking about the JQ, you might go,
Well,
what
here's
is the
the
JQ?
here's
The
the
JQ is
latest
the Jewish
addiction.
question.
This is kind of fucked up too.
Oh.
I'm now addicted
So look out
to
for people with
laxative
a tattoo that might
suppositories.
you
I like the ability to shove something up my ass and poop within 3 minutes. I think that's the most amazing thing ever.
Oh dear.
Really, Kristen?
Oh dear.
I mean, it
happening?
actually feels good. Like, it feels good. Like, to me, it feels good. It's really weird. The way the medicine, like, affects you, it's pleasurable to me.
How do you
I
not
like it.
talk about
Well, it is a medical product, yeah, it is.
way in which getting
I can't believe I admitted that to you guys. I
you know,
really
if
am
you want it like I'm
addicted to them,
English.
though. It's fucked up.
You can probably
It was
just
pretty
factor
funny
in
though, because
word,
like
or
the
you could
first
replace
time
the
it
word
was like, oh my god, this
communist,
is pretty traumatic.
and it would be the
And
same
then it
as
was like, that actually
don't
wasn't
find
too bad. And then I did it again, and then I thought about it, and then I did it some more. I'm doing it twice a day. It's really excessive. I'm sorry I'm laughing at this, but it's really absurd thing to be addicted to. Oh my god. There's something wrong with me. Once a day? No. I don't even know if you're supposed to use them more than once a day. I don't even know.
Is that your son, dummy?
I'm afraid to read it. I don't want to find out. Oh, shit. Ugh. That's embarrassing. I will admit the most embarrassing things. There is something wrong with me. Speaking of which...
No, but I am curious. What was the like fast cure for PTSD?
Oh,
there really isn't one. Maybe shitting a lot?
No, actually not heroin. What they were saying, I don't know. I'm just breaking up all the time. I think this Freudian guy was saying, hello. Can you even hear me? It's point.
Yeah, you're coming.
Oh right, yeah.
Good.
Well, they were saying that it was MDMA.
Huh. That's interesting. I could see how that could work. Or
Some other guy mistakenly said, no, it's mushrooms, but no, it's actually apparently it's ecstasy. But then I was saying like, well, surely if you get it, then you can just like anything's a cure. Like ecstasy's a cure for anything temporarily. And then this other
right.
And then no, it literally
Stuff is
does
always sold out.
restructure brains. I was just like, wow, I don't even know. Why do you have something?
But all kinds of people saying they have it, and it's bizarre.
Yeah, and there's loads of people that tell their children that they have autism,
Fucking A,
dyslexia,
exactly. And it's
ADHD.
nautism, man.
You're
It's
not, dude.
nautism. And it's just like they don't want to raise their kids, so they're like, yeah, my kid's got autism.
Right, exactly, exactly. Right. And by white people survive. Have you ever heard of the phrase Orion? It means oh, this is another thing you need to look out for. It means our race is our nation. But yeah, I mean, like there is an element of, I mean, there are too many horrible people procreating, and they are, you know, whether you're a crazy bad parent or not a crazy bad parent, you're still fucking railroaded into. I do believe in the 70s version of discipline. I don't believe in the 50s version of discipline, but I believe in the 70s. You smack your kid. Your kid, it goes. If your kid goes near a hot pot of boiling water, you give them a smack and you go, no, no, no. It would be better for you to not go near that boiling water. Oh, and that's how they learn. Exactly. Exactly. You go, he would. As super disciplinarians. Your kid
Your parents should be spanking your ass right now. That's
kid
what
has third degree burns. I don't want my child to have third degree. Yeah, sorry. Oh my. It's because there are too many autistic millennial cucks in the room.